So as vaccine mandate deadlines loom, more and more police departments are holding the line when it comes to their bodily autonomy because, I mean, why wouldn't, that's a very important issue to take a stand for. However, they face losing pay and pensions if they don't comply. So how is this going to end? Because it seems like this is the time we really, really need policing too, really good policing. Will leaders in some of these crime-ridden cities really actually sacrifice the citizens' safety for a mandate that doesn't have the full force and effect of the law? Joining me now to discuss, my sheriff. I like that I can actually bring on my sheriff, Tarrant County, Texas Sheriff, of course. I gotta, because normally I know we talk about law and order, but now this is kind of, a law and order issue. And I know it's a concern of a lot of officers. And my stance has always been, if you want to get the jab, get the jab. Because you're the only person who can ultimately weigh that, that risk and decide if that's best for you and your family. But it shouldn't be mandated, especially with some of the stuff that we know. But now seeing this come down on some of these big city police departments, like Chicago's in a mess right now. They're fighting with their fraternal order police union. A number of other cities, they're seeing this in New York and elsewhere. It seems like a really bad time for that to happen. And we need more police, not fewer police on the streets. What is your thought about all of this? And how do you approach this issue?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me. But yeah, you're exactly right. These large cities where there's a strong mayor, and we need to keep in mind they're ordering their police chiefs to do this, and they're ordering their agencies to do that. But you think about back when a year ago, these are the same mayors that wanted to defund the police. So is this just another methodology to actually defund the police when you have a third of the agency saying that they're going to leave the job, like in Chicago? That's incredible. With the horrific crime on the rise up there, I think it's going to take a toll on the citizenry, and I think it is just an awful mess.
Yeah, a horrible mess. I was reading an article just a little earlier this afternoon, Sheriff, about, I think this was looking at Portland and Seattle. No, this was looking at Seattle. It was from King5.com, their NBC affiliate out there. And they were saying that, after they didn't back the police with all the Antifa violence, and they had passed all these orders, that police were very hesitant to get involved and enforce because they actually were very unclear due to the language passed by city council what they could and couldn't do. And then, of course, there's these vaccine mandates that are hanging over everyone's head. And either people are walking off or they're retiring early, or there are just fewer people able to be recruited to join police forces. I mean, it's down all across the country. What are you seeing in your department, if you can say?
Well, we're still having a hard time to recruit, even though in Texas, and especially here in Tarrant County, the good citizens are always backing us. I know that they have our backs, and so does our officers. But still, because of the national tidal wave of people not liking police or slamming police over the last year, it's still very difficult to recruit people into this field. And again, those large agencies that if they see 2,000 officers or 3,000 officers leave, it will be absolutely many, many years before they have them replaced.
Yeah, many years, and it's difficult to. I could imagine. I've never run a police force, Sheriff, but I would imagine it's real difficult to build up an operation like that.
Oh, it is, and some of these police chiefs are really great people, and they have great skills, but I think they're under mandates that they are just not going to survive. And I've heard from several of those agencies, by the way, and they talk about, especially on the West Coast, that they have no power to do things. That they have, for instance, human trafficking units that can't go out and be aggressive in that, so they're not pitching in. So it's just an amazing wave that's happened across this country that people don't want law and order.
Yeah, there's a comment that we played it a little bit earlier, Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot. She was saying that it was for these police officers not following the mandate, it's difficult for them to go out and enforce the law if they themselves don't follow the law. But a mandate necessarily is not a law. This is not something that was created in the state house by the legislature and, passed or voted on by the citizenry and added and incorporated, is it? It's not really the same thing as a law.
It is not a law, and I think that her leadership ability is on a scale from 1 to 10 is a -8. And she's going to so badly impact her citizens with what she's doing because she's running off these cops. Make no mistake about it.
Yeah, running off the police officers at a time when they least need it. Last question for you, Sheriff, and we appreciate your time with us today, too. I know that this is probably the fights over the vaccination mandate, et cetera, it's probably increasing. I just think that there are things that police officers, they're pretty good at determining, I think, by and large, risk assessment and what kind of risk they want to assume and figure out if this is the best thing for them. But considering the nature of your work, Sheriff, probably is not the thing that worries you the most when it comes to, say, your physical safety.
No, it's not. Is that certainly we make the vaccine available, and it's certainly a personal choice. We are absolutely and haven't mandated anything here and won't. But yeah, we're concerned about more other things. We're concerned about the rise in violent crime. We're concerned about the issues of officers being ambushed like we saw last week in Houston. Those are the things that are creeping up on us.